Have you ever felt like time is moving so fast and everyone and everything around you is evolving twice as fast? Hi, I'm Angel. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. On today's Thought Daughter series, I'll be talking about the concept of change. Well, if you have ever felt like that, you're certainly not alone because I have felt like that all my life. Matter of fact, I still feel like that from time to time. It can be overwhelming and terrifying, most especially with a girlie with anxiety. Change scares the hell out of me. I have always been a creature of habits. If it's a change in my daily routine, I'm terrified. And if it's necessary, I'll need a crazy amount of time to adjust into it and make that a part of my routine. I remember back in 2019 when we wanted to move out of our old apartment to our house. It implied change in every aspect, change in environment, change of school, change of friends, change of literally everything. I panicked and I went into a spiral. Why? Because I wanted to remain as I was with all I have ever known, and it affected me as I grew. I mean, everyone around me was a fan of change. It didn't seem like a big deal to anyone, and everyone I came across just went with everything that was happening, and I was like surprised about it, and I journaled. And I learned slowly that change wasn't the enemy. Instead, it was an altercation to live better. I know it sounds bland. And to the angel of the last 4 to 5 years, it wasn't. To her, change was scary. And it instilled a tremendous amount of anxiety in her. I mean, the whole uncertainty of success and the fear of the unknown caused the resistance to the whole process, and it became tiring. The fear of change made me very comfortable in my comfort zone. It soon became repetitive, and I noticed that staying the same was as horrible as making any change. I read an article about a woman that was too afraid to seek help for what she was going through at a particular point in her life. And in that article, she said change doesn't have to be scary, it can be fun, and it can help us grow and understand ourselves better. And from all I have ever felt of change, it made me have a dual mind about it. So I started journaling about everything in my life that is not the way it was a year ago or a few years back. I journaled about how that made me feel, and I noticed that it wasn't as scary or life threatening as I thought it would be. Although my fears and cares towards the whole thought of change are valid, I noticed how much I held myself back from a couple of things thanks to my intuitive thoughts. I figured that change didn't have to be huge or difficult for it to be considered as change. Okay, let me put that into practicality. For the longest, I have wanted to improve my living habits and my lifestyle. And I've always thought that in order to do that, I had to completely cut out sugar, log out of social media, lock the fuck in academically, read all the self-help books I could, hit the gym, start a Bible study and spiritual routine. Yes, all of these were considered huge changes I could make, but in actuality, they made me feel overwhelmed and overstimulated half the time, and they made me resist change. It made me want to cave into my normal routine. But instead, I noticed that the littlest things that I did every single day to improve my living habits were also change. Every morning, I make it a necessity to drink water before putting anything into my system. Whenever my anxious episodes begin, I repeat positive affirmations over and over again in my head. I practiced gratitude more, I smiled more, I romanticized my life more. I kept healthier interactions and connections. When I listened to my body, whenever he tried to communicate with me. And this made me happier. It made me feel a lot lighter, and it was easier to carry out. It was way easier to carry out. In reality, you get to decide how much you want to change and how much change you want to make. What I didn't realize at that time was this: change doesn't have to be massive and out of your control. So for you or others, it can be different. It could be a change in career path. It could be an altercation in your habits. It could be changing your location, just like it was for me some years back. The point is that we all get to choose how much or how little we want to change in our lives, as long as you know the best ways to go about it. Remember, the real enemy is not change or growth. The real enemy is being stuck in your comfort zone and you being comfortable being there. On my next episode, I am going to be talking about the concept of being in your comfort zone and also the concept of emotions, both negative and positively. Thanks for watching. Bye.